nice mug. I see you got the Beatles on your mug. I have the Velvet Underground in beach wear. But
there you go. I've never seen Lou Reed like that.
I don't think Lou has either.
No, for sure not. That's funny.
Well, that's cool that you have a Beatle mug, because there's obviously a Beatle influence to what you're doing.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
I heard plenty of it there. In fact, I was just thinking about their song Sun, and it had very kind of Beatlesque production and a George Harrison-like guitar thing, and almost like a Harry Nilsson vocal. So let's start with that. We're right into it here.
Wow. You know what? We know what's great is you're the first person I've talked to that's picked up on the Harry Nilsson thing. Oh. And I oftentimes forget to name that as one of my influences. But when I was in my late teens, I had one of his records. And I also got into the point in my 20s,
right?
That soundtrack. And I wore them out.
Right,
I loved his style. I loved the Beatles, obviously, George Harrison, Stones, and all the classic stuff. I love all the classic stuff, but Harry Nilsson is one of the classics that not everybody knows about.
That's true.
And I'm honored that you picked that out.
I can't tell you how to live your life, but I would if you let me. I can't see the things you feel inside, but if I try, it's because I love you.
Sun is, I'm really happy with that song. I had help from my friend Paul Bushnell, producer and bass player on that one. He did the strings for me and arranged it a little differently at the end. Originally, it didn't go back into the last chorus, but a song I wrote for my son. You know, he's a teenage boy, and it was a couple of years ago I wrote it for him. He you know, in true boy fashion, son to dad, we don't always talk all the time with words, you know. And it was just my way of saying I love you, and I you know, I'm always here for you, and I believe in you, you know, and that's where that song came from.
Well, the album itself is kind of a family affair. There's a song about your stepdaughter, your wife has produced it, and so it's a musical family. Must be. What? Tell me how it all manages to keep together.
Well, you know, it's beautiful because, you know, let's start with my wife. You know, she grew up in a musical family. Her father's Roger Cook, wrote Teach the World to Sing, Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress.
Oh my God.
He had a hit with Michelle before the Beatles did.
Right.
With David and Jonathan is what they call themselves.
Yes, I remember that. I had their album back there.
Yeah, and Blue Mink he was in.
Right.
You know, so she's grown up in music, and she even had a record deal.
Right.
And then enter my daughter, who is a fabulous singer, like a real singer, you know, not like a person like me that just holds a note, you know, and you know, but she's a real singer, and my stepdaughter's turning into a real singer as well.
Cool.
They both are very different. My son's musical, but he opts for sports. But Katie's a brilliant producer, and you know, we did this record together. Really dug in on quarantine. During quarantine. I started before then, but we really finished it up in 2020. And boy, having a studio in our basement and having a producer upstairs when I needed her made it awesome, because there were times I thought I'd never finish it.
Right. So what did she add to the mix? What did she do for you to get that?
Well, you know, a lot of things. So like Lose to Win in particular, that song, I could think about that. When I first played her that song after I wrote it with two guys I know, she said, you need to start it with a rotary guitar.
She knew how to love herself, better than anyone else, but she didn't understand how to love a man like me.
So I started it with a rotary guitar, and she was pretty much there along the way for that one, start to finish, of all the ideas of what I needed. And then you have songs like 11 and The Sky is Falling Down that I originally started to write with my co-writer Dino Brown.
Right.
And then I brought them to Katie, and she said, well, wait a minute, Sky is Falling Down, you don't have the right chorus yet. and she hums me the melody for that. So she ended up writing that with us. We had a completely different chorus. So that song wouldn't be what it is without her. And 11, she ended up writing because we had the Rocket Bound for Heaven, and my stepdaughter's middle name is actually legally Rocket.
Oh, great.
So Katie was the obvious choice to help wrap that song up. So when she came in, it started to really be inspired by Daisy as well. So,
right.
So it's pretty cool.
And you guys are in a band together called Sunkat, is that right?
Yeah, we are.
So what's different between what we hear on your solo album and what Sunkat does?
Well, I think it's all about what songs kind of fit, what you hear. Sunkat, to me, there's maybe a lighter tone to the lyric.
Right.
It's more of a 70s. I mean, we have 70s rock influence in both. But
I see you have a song called I Miss Tom Petty.
Yeah. Yeah. Our first date was a Tom Petty concert. Big Tom Petty fan.
So many miles. You were there for the smiles. Could always count on you when things got heavy. I miss Tom Petty.
Steve Ferroni actually got a hold of that song and dedicated it to the Heartbreakers.
Nice.
The year after Tom Petty died, for Christmas on his season closing show. It meant a lot to us.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so I think the songs. There are songs that I've written I thought were going to be on this record that we said, no, that's more of a Sunkat thing.
Right.
And we just kind of instinctively know, what goes where. And honestly, when COVID happened, we didn't embrace the whole Zoom performances and all that. We were just getting some momentum, then that squashed it like it did for everybody. And I went to my record, Katie went to other interests with paranormal things. And, so producing me was a little easier on her schedule than working on the band project. We are about to do more Sunkat stuff.
Yes. Now, speaking of Tom Petty, the song Getting to Me had to me, a very Tom Petty vibe to it. And I see you have Brad Pemberton playing drums on that. So tell me a little bit about that one.
Just let yourself through the door. I will hear the bell ring. The rain is loud when it pours like this, and the birds don't sing.
Well, Brad Pemberton is an amazing drummer. I've only worked with him once, many, many years ago. So long ago, I forgot that we had worked with each other, because when he came to do that song with me, I was like, I'm glad we're finally playing together.
Right.
That the night I recorded with him and Stephen Mackey on bass, I actually had 3 songs, and my goal was I wanted to get some more of a rockin' thing happening on this record. I wanted that element on here, so it wasn't all mellow. So there were actually 2 other tracks. The songs didn't stand up, but that one did, and boy, it was great. I love his feel. He's so amazing. And Steve too on the bass. And that song's a little, the just let yourself through the door. I won't hear the bell ring. I actually said that to somebody about coming over to do some recording, and that spawned the lyric. And then I kind of took influence on that lyric from Addiction. I've been addicted to cigarettes, accidentally addicted to pain pills years ago. Right. I know what it's like, and thankfully, really the only thing I'm addicted to now is music still.
There you go. That won't hurt you. How can that hurt you?
Exactly. Well, who knows? Well, but so that's probably one of the, I don't think I've even told anybody that. You're probably the first person I've told that, but that's a little look into my life and my experience. So I kind of took from that, but I'm glad that song made it. I wish the other 2 did, because they're so upbeat, but I actually had a new lyric come to me 2 nights ago for one of the other tracks. So hopefully the other 2 that I did with Brad and Steve make the next record.
Right. Cool. So I know you're a kind of a guitarist for hire as well, and you play with Tim McGraw, but this album is your first solo album as such. Mm-hmm. So what brought this upon you that you, at this point in your career, that you wanted to make this record?
Well, it's all a matter of timing, and when the time is right. I think I pushed down my artistry through the years, and was okay with the fact that I was making a living making music. I had opportunities to have record deals, but they were in the country genre. I did not consider myself a country artist whatsoever. Right. I just happened to play guitar for country people. It's just playing guitar. Genre is a lyrical term to me. Right. And you know, the first step was my rock band Digital Brains, and then Sunkat. All those things I really owe it to Danny and Corey from Digital Brains and Katie and Sunkat for helping me build the confidence. And then all of a sudden these songs came to me that were obviously not Brains, not Sunkat. They were me. Mm-hmm. And so I finally have a batch of songs that I'm confident enough in to put out and get behind. And I've always wanted to do it. I guess I've just been a little scared. And ironically, I put this shirt on today, Bombers and Sleeves. These guys reached out to me. Their motto is bomb your boundaries, right. Bomb self-doubt.
Yep.
You know, and that's hard. You know, it's hard to get over that. You know, I think through the years I bought into the people that kind of said, you're not really a singer, more than I bought into you freaking rock, do it.
Yeah, right.
You know? And
yep.
My own fault, mental instability. We all got it.
Oh, that's for sure.
You know, so yeah, I think it's timing. You know, I finally had these songs I could get behind. I remember the last time that I was in a record, at a record label talking about trying to produce some artists. And when I went in to see the label head, I had known him. He said, well, what about your stuff? I love your stuff. Essentially opening the door for maybe I could get something going. But at the time, I was like, man, I appreciate that. And I said, I just don't know what I do, and I don't want to waste your time.
Gotcha.
And so that's the other element. I finally now, be it too late or not, I finally know what I do. And it's okay that all the songs might be a little different, but I'm okay with that. I know what I do now.
Now, with everything that's happened with COVID and politics and everything, what's it like being a session guy, a Nashville cat, if you were, in this day and age? Have things changed over the course of a couple of years?
No, you know what? It's horrible, but like there was this joke going around. It's like, COVID, good time to be a session musician.
Right.
You know, I mean, so what? Everything shut down in March. By the front of June, we were all in the studios with masks on. And March to June, it was all, people would send you tracks and we'd be doing them here at our houses. I had producers Zooming me and listening on the feed to what I was doing. It was really good. And I feel so kind of bad saying that, you know, I know so many people have had it so hard, but exactly. But it's been great. And I'm actually just looking forward to this year because I will be doing inevitably less of that because I've got a busy Tim schedule for the first half of the year. I really want to do my own stuff. Looks like I'm going to jump into producing some stuff. And so, you know what? Every day to me is amazing. And I just can't wait for what's next. Every day I just look at tomorrow and wonder what's going to happen. So I'm blessed, man.
Cool.
Sure.
Now you mentioned Tim McGraw. I assume that's where you're referring to. For you, from your point of view, what is it like going out on the road on a big show like that?
Oh man, nothing compares. I mean, and we get treated so well out there. I mean, I know some gigs bands don't get treated as well, maybe because of finances, maybe just because the artists, people aren't used to treating them well, whatever. But we have it so good. And I feel like a rock star. We all feel like rock stars. I mean, Tim's awesome. And I always say, I never feel, once in a while, I feel like I'm in Tim's band, but a lot of the times and most of the time on stage, I feel like he's the singer in our band.
Right. Gotcha.
You know, it feels, we have such a great relationship, all the band members, and we all got his back. And it's fun, man. It's great. It's rock star stuff, man. Thousands of people every night. And it's just awesome. You know, and for me, the creative juice, you know, stepping on a tour bus, stepping on a plane, I'm like instantly there's songs coming to me. I'm like, you know, so good, you know.
Living the dream. That's what we like to hear.
Are you a musician? Did you ever do any touring or anything?
I briefly played bass in a punk band back in the late 70s because I figured because that was what punk was all about. It's like everybody should be in a band, right? So
yeah, man,
that was about it.
Well, good, awesome. I recommend the feeling. Yeah, you got to do it once.
So yeah, but I've produced a few records and worked with musicians a lot and done stuff like that. So yeah, just being around it, But
awesome.
Yeah, it's good time. So, well, thank you very much for taking time to talk to me. I hope everything goes great with the record release, and yeah, it'd be nice to get some physical product out there as well once that becomes a possibility.
Well, I have some promo ones, so send me your address and I'll get you one, man. I really, really appreciate you having me, Marty, and it's great to meet you.
Yeah, come down to New Zealand when you get a chance. And hopefully the borders will be open soon.
I hope so. And if you get to Tennessee, let me know, man.
Will do. All righty.
Thank you so much, my friend. Peace.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you, brother. Bye.